Some of you may know that before starting Mighty Car Mods and before crashing supercars on Top Gear, I was working full-time as a professional musician, a songwriter and a composer. And car brands became a bit of a niche for me. I've written music for Audi, BMW, Cadillac, Ford, Toyota, Volvo, and I even turned Mazda's Zoom Zoom into Zoom 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 Zoom. Zoom, 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 zoom. Yep, I composed that. And I've also got hundreds of pieces of music on Spotify and streaming platforms, which means I'm earning a passive income. And today, for the first time, I'm going to reveal exactly how much money I make from my music. Because when you've got money rolling into your bank account every day and every night, it means occasionally you can get yourself a treat, like this automotive tantrum from Italy. This here is a Lamborghini Gallardo powered by an incredible V10 engine. Now, I know a lot of you already know, particularly those that watch Mighty Car Mods, that I'm a massive fan of Audi's RS3 inline 5-cylinder engine. Well, this here is basically two of them. But now it begs the question, how much does a car like this actually cost? And the answer is $250,000. Now, I know that might sound like a lot, but remember, my music is on Spotify, and I'm about to reveal how much money I make in a month. Now, in the last 30 days, I had 50,000 streams. Yes, 50,000. And that equates to $321. Dude, $321 only.
Yeah, no one earns jack from streaming, man.
But that was 50,000 streams last month.
Yeah, like 0.0006 cents a stream.
Well, how am I going to buy a Lamborghini?
You're not. You're not buying anything. Like, even a Lamborghini badge, like this, like a fake one's $500.
Where's it going?
A wheel nut is like 50 bucks.
Dude, where's my car going?
It's not going to your house.
Well, what am I going to do with $321?
Maybe buy some mods?
Some mods for what?
For that.
Thin line, no down, no down. Our world will live is upside down.
Welcome to your brand new car. This is a Honda Jazz GT3, the spiritual successor to the best Honda ever made, which is the Honda City Turbo. This thing has VTEC. This thing is modern, comfortable, air conditioning, freaking incredible and perfect for a musician like you. And I consider you an excellent musician, which is why I think you should have an excellent musician's car.
Why is this an excellent musician's car though?
Jazz. Honda Jazz.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, you got me a Jazz because...
Jazz. This is 800 bucks. Got off a mate cheap. It has 3 days rego left. So we have to modify it pretty quickly. And we'll modify it using your streaming earnings.
$321.
$321, dude. Using that money, we'll turn this into the ultimate musician's vehicle. Drive 2 gigs. Dude, use it 4 gigs.
Do you know why I reckon it's called a Jazz?
Why?
I can legit smell scat on the back seat.
Yeah, I'm not sure what that smells.
Can you smell that?
Yeah.
It's like cigarettes and scat.
Yeah.
You know what scat is, right?
Yeah, I'm a scat, man.
I don't think that's what he meant.
Either way, dude, we're going to hit the wreckers. We hit Super Cheap Auto. It goes all right, eh?
Nah. It feels like it's about to fall apart.
Whoa.
What's wrong with it?
It pops out a fifth.
Oh. Did you know that when you bought it?
Maybe.
That's shit. This car sucks, dude.
Oh, it's completely rooted. We'll hit the wreckers, we'll hit Super Cheap Auto, we'll go to the shed. It's going to be good. Get keen.
This 2004 Honda Jazz with VTEC is the best supercar money can buy if you've only got 800 bucks. And I am about to show you why.
We are back at the shed and our freaking amazing Honda Jazz has also landed here like an interplanetary UFO of musical awesomeness, which is exactly what this car was designed for, Honda Jazz. We're going to turn this into the ultimate musician's vehicle. But before we get to that, let me just show you some features. And one of my favorite features, aside from this, which is, this is a whole other story, but this is how you feed yourself as a musician. Don't worry about that. One of my favorite features is this, and I'll go across the other side.
Is that legitimate fishing stuff?
Yeah, that's fishing stuff.
So you bought this from a fishing mate?
Don't worry about it. Anyway,
it smells fishy.
One of the best things about this is the seats fold completely flat. Look at this. Freaking amazing. That folds flat. Look at that. You essentially have a ute. You got some baby wipes and a belt. I'm not sure what that combination is for. Anyway,
sandpaper.
and one of my favourite things is, look, if you want to move the seat forward and back, you grab up here, you move it. And you
No way.
How good is that?
Is that the same on the driver's side? I've never seen that in a car before.
Isn't that unreal? Like the packaging is really good. And not only that, dude.
Dude, you can move the seat from back here.
Honda Jazz are known as one of the most capable track cars because it's got a really good low centre of gravity. The fuel tank's in a good spot. It's just a good thing. Or yeah, I don't know what that's about. So in terms of features that a musician would like, that's one of them. There's also heaps of room here. Like, look how big the hatch it opens up. You've got shelter here from like inclement weather. You got somewhere to sit.
And sit here.
That's pretty cool, eh?
That load space is actually amazing.
It's
Because
massive.
hatchbacks always normally have this up the back like that.
It's incredible. So we're going to turn this into the ultimate musician's vehicle. And not only just a vehicle to get around, this thing is going to make money.
Which is pretty cool because most cars are a depreciating asset.
Correct.
Is the word depreciating asset? That doesn't even make sense.
No.
It's a depreciating thing. It loses you money. The plan for this is for it to make money, and we're going to try and do that as cheaply as possible. Let me show you the modifications. We are going to be converting this Honda Jazz into a rolling automotive busking station, a party starter. Now, what is busking? It's where you play some music or you do a performance, you put a hat out and people throw some money out for you. And we will be busking at the end of this video to see how much money we can make. But we want to spend as little as possible to turn this car into something that we can actually make some money. So this is what we're going to do. We are going to replace the speakers. These are some Sony speakers we got from Super Cheap Auto. They are as cheap as you can get. That there is $59. We want to be able to plug in a bunch of different instruments and hopefully have the car power a mixing desk, which is here. It's a small Yamaha mixing desk. Brand new, they're like $100 and something. Second hand, $80. Absolutely incredible. Now we need the party to start with some subs. We've got this powered subwoofer. It says the bass is strong. We got that one online, $86. In the back of the car, we're actually going to add a guitar jack so we can plug directly into the Jazz. $2. Now here's where the magic starts, my friends. That is a little cable that lets you go from audio into the actual factory head unit. This car doesn't have CarPlay, it doesn't have Bluetooth, it doesn't have any of that. We're going to try and hack in the output of our mixing desk. We've also got some speaker wire and a bunch of associated wires, all of that stuff around $50. So that brings us to a total of just $275 to turn that into the best freaking Jazz on the planet.
But don't you have $321 of your royalty check?
Yes, yes I do.
By my rough maths, that's $46 change.
Yes.
What are we doing with the $46?
You'll find out, mate. Just be patient. Just be patient. All right, Marty's going to show you what tools you're going to need.
Here are the tools that you are going to need. You're going to need a trim removal tool, something like this, or you could use your finger if you don't have one of these. You're going to need screwdrivers. I don't think you can use your finger or any other appendage to do the job that these things do. And also tape is a really, really good idea. In terms of stripping wires, you could use your teeth, but the dentist might cost more than just buying the right tools, which are these. So wire strippers, you're going to be a bit more professional. You can also get a soldering iron and one of these solder cleaners and some solder and some heat shrink to do it super neat. And a multimeter when you're doing any electronic stuff on cars is super useful. But there's also another little secret weapon. This is like a signal generator. And I spent a lot of time in my youth at audio technology school to learn how to use this properly. So if this doesn't work, I quit.
The first step is to jack up your car and then remove the rear door trims. Yes, the rear. Usually when you're modifying your car stereo on a budget, the focus is the front speakers because that is where you're spending most of your time. But in our case, the rear doors will actually become our PA system. The idea is that you can pull up the car to a park or a public place, then open the rear doors, plug an instrument in, and then start busking directly from the boot of the car. So the best speakers we've got are going in the back. The old speakers are as shagged as Austin Powers, so they're going in the bin, but we will reuse the factory spaces, which will save us a bit more cash, even if it's a bit janky.
So in case you're wondering how a speaker works while we're here, that's called the speaker cone. You can see the two cables going there. That's a coil. It's a coil, works exactly like an electric motor, but it pulls back and forth like that away. So when it gets excited by some energy, AC current, like this, it goes, and so it'll push outwards towards your ear, and literally it goes to your eardrum and pushes your drum in. And then your brain goes, oh, you know, that's what it hears. Except in this case, it went through a camera and a microphone. So my microphone actually went, and then your speaker/headphone went. It's actually quite magical.
It does this.
That potentially on the other side, there was someone in Finland right now, literally just like their speakers made that noise.
Yeah, and that's why you've got to make sure you get the phasing right, because otherwise, instead of going, it literally sucks that way. And as it pulls in, it sucks your eardrum out.
Ugh.
Speakers are one of the few inventions where bigger is usually better, but bolt-in replacements like this are super easy to install without any further car modifications or changes. And for $50, you can't argue with that. Speakers were invented around 100 years ago by Edward Kellogg. Meanwhile, one of his distant relatives was inventing Kellogg's cornflakes. Random, but true. But what do they have in common? Well, after you eat cornflakes, they turn into poo. And using a speaker frequency known in audio circles as the brown note or the poo note, the theory goes that you can make someone release their bowels by playing a frequency somewhere between 5 and 9 hertz. That sounds something like this. Luckily for you, the speakers that you're probably listening to this video on are not capable of recreating frequencies that low, so you're safe for now. Realistically, the most bass and bowel movements that ever happens in modern times is in the backseat of a Honda Civic. Okay, let's try and get this episode back on the rails. With the rear door cards back on, we can now move on to our mixing desk, the budget brain of our operation. Once we've checked that it powers on okay, then we can unbox our sub. The instrument that you're listening to right now is an electric piano invented by Harold Rhodes. It was invented to help soldiers recover after World War II, and it consists of metal tines being amplified with guitar-style coils. The one you're listening to right now is me playing on my 1979 model.
Do you know this is the only thing in 18 years of making videos that you and I are actually qualified to talk about?
We can do skids.
Yeah, but like thousands of videos. But
Yeah.
we're not actually qualified to do skids. We
Yeah.
didn't pass you don't have a certificate that says you know how to skid.
I got a
I
Falcon.
It's kind of the same thing. Anyway, we've laid out all the bits that we're going to put into our mad Busco-mobile.
Now, some of you might be thinking, why not just buy a Busking amp? How boring. But just to give you an idea here, $799, $465, $670. Of course, you can get some cheap stuff, and that is relatively cheap for stuff that's portable. The idea is to use the power source, the battery, the head unit, speakers, the amplifier that is already in the car. That is the whole idea. So we're going to run through the kind of system that we're putting in. Of course, we're on a budget. Of course, the sky's the limit. You could go to town with it. And what I will say is that when I was younger, I used to make money by playing piano and keyboards at a local cafe. And I had this thing in my head that I called music for music. And so what that was is any money that I made from playing music, I would put the entirety of that money, 100% of it, back into buying better musical equipment other than filling my Camaro with fuel, which was 64 cents a litre.
I would get in my Liberties, usually, or Geminis at the time. I would go and play gigs from 10 p.m. till 2 or 3 a.m. in the morning, go home, go to sleep, get up the next day, take the money and go and buy car stuff.
Yeah.
Parts, turbos, whatever I could get my hands on.
And I'd buy music stuff and
Music
eventually
for boost.
slowly get better and better stuff, go
Absolutely.
from a cheap guitar to a better one. Anyway, we're going to get to that.
Yeah.
Martin, let's talk about signal flow. How's
Sure.
this thing going to run? I'm going to give you the first little piece of the puzzle. That is your guitar or your input source. It is going to go here. Now, originally, we were thinking, what would be cool is you've got that sitting inside the car. No, what if you want to jam from the outside? So we're actually going to install it on the outside of the car somewhere. So you can just stand next to the car, plug it in, open the doors, and you're ready to go. What happens next?
The brain of the operation in any audio signal path is the mixing desk. They call it a mixing desk because it does mix all the different sources together. Now, in this case...
And it's sitting on a desk.
You might have seen really big ones if you've been to like concerts and stuff. You can see there's a line up there. That's a channel. It flows from the top and essentially goes out the bottom. But what it actually does is go back in and out of here. So you can put like a guitar in there, a microphone in there, a keyboard, a drum machine, whatever it is. That's enough for what we need. And it uses particular kinds of plugs, which they call these TRS, which is tip, ring, sleeve. In this case, this is just tip and sleeve, and they fit into those sort of things. So we're going to have to make some. Luckily, they're very cheap. So is this wire, which we got as well. So using this wire and some connectors that we solder on, we can pretty much spider all this thing together and get our signal flow right.
What we've also got here is kind of Canon connectors or XLR connectors. This here is for running more professional microphones like this here. And this little mixing desk even has phantom power. So you press that, it sends 48 volts if you want to run condenser microphones and stuff. We don't need to do that, but it's there if we needed to, I don't know, do some location sound or something with a different kind of microphone. So, all right, let's get this right. So, input source goes into there. That goes into the mixer. How do we then integrate that with the amp, the speakers, and our sub that cost 80 bucks?
So using this cable, which we got for $15, that is going to get out of an audio source, which we're going to adapt using one of these things, which is a 3.5mm to 6.5mm adapter. You might have seen this on a set of headphones or something that you've got.
Dude, this
you
is so
that
janky.
In.
This
then
is so janky.
We're going out of the mixing desk. We've got a stereo out here. Boom. And that will get us into the Jazz's stereo. Now, you could upgrade the stereo, and then you could use RCAs or some other kind of thing, but this is a very cheap and easy way to get in. Once we've got sound coming out of our speakers, the sky's the limit, but we also need more bass, and we're going to put in a sub as well to help with that.
Martin, how is the sub going to interact with this? Is it going from the output of this or from the output of the stereo then?
You could actually do it either way, and that could potentially be a cleaner way to do it because we do have spare outputs, but the proper way is to integrate that into the car stereo, and that is set up to do it because it comes with this little fly lead here, which you essentially plug your rear speakers into. It grabs the signal and then amplifies it for sub bass. But there's different ways we can do it. The good thing about a mixing desk, it opens up all those possibilities. It is the brain of the operation and allows you to do all that sort of stuff. So we've got a little bit of wiring to do to plug all this sort of stuff in. We'll pull a few trims out and start connecting everything up.
We've just got to work out, Martin, where to plug this in. And I'm thinking, there.
Oh, good.
What do you reckon?
When you said thinking, how long were you thinking for?
I didn't think.
Yeah, okay, good.
I just did.
Okay.
Like Maverick, don't think, just guitar. That's the line from Top Gun Maverick. So here's what I'm thinking, Martin. That there now goes like this.
That's probably got a screw in it or a...
Not for long, mate.
Oh, no. No,
I won't do it. So, but we can go through from here. Here we go. There's a little hole here. I could have thought about this a little bit better, I reckon, Martin, before I did that.
It's like a little ventilation hole.
But there we go, ventilation hole.
Did you know that you have ventilation holes in the back of your car, so if you fart, the fart actually comes out of the car?
It's the only way air can come in if air goes out.
That's right.
That's how your anus works.
Correct.
This car is like a mouth and an anus. Whatever comes in goes out. Sometimes it goes in the wrong way. But whatever you're into. Martin, we need to... Martin, can you undo this? Actually, I'll undo it myself because Martin's lost the plot today.
Oh my goodness. I'll try and work out how to plug the stereo in. My car.
While my good friend is plugging the rear end, I can turn my attention to making sure we can get signal from the jack all the way down to the factory head unit. Rolling up a humble guitar lead or microphone lead is literally day one of audio school, and the theory hasn't changed much since these kind of cables were originally used in telephone switchboards in the early 1900s. A basic guitar cable is a copper wire carrying a tiny signal from the electric guitar, and that's surrounded with insulation that's designed to stop interference making its way into your sound. Then the whole thing is wrapped in PVC like a middle-aged gimp gone wrong. At each end is a 1/4-inch jack plug, which we'll be plugging in directly into our Jazz through this socket.
Sometimes when you're removing smaller parts from the car, using smaller tools is really handy. So this is the Ryobi 4-volt lithium. So it can twist, pressing that button so you can go in either direction. You can go straight if you need to, and it just runs off these little batteries here. They are USB-C chargeable, so you don't even need anything special to charge it. Just plug it in and off you go. And sometimes it's just easier to maneuver when you've got small stuff like that. There's a whole bunch of stuff in this series. There's lights, there's soldering irons, there's little glue guns and stuff. So definitely worth checking that out if you want something a little bit smaller. Now we've just got to carefully remove this stuff, which is... That looks pretty careful to me. That comes off. Then there's 2 screws under here. It looks like one of them's already gone by the looks of that. So just got to get down underneath that. I can use the light on this to see what I'm doing. And there's meant to be 2 under there. And then we got to crack this out. Apparently these are really difficult to get out. I just noticed we got a free quad lock mount, Martin. Martin, there's a free quad lock vent mount in here.
Excellent.
Look at this. Probably worth as much as the car. Look at that. Where's my thing? Where's my phone?
Stereo's got to come out, man.
I'm going to show you people how this thing works. I've lost my phone. Martin, did you steal my phone again?
Yeah, I'll use this one.
Give me yours, Martin. Have you got the Mighty Mods case? Check that out. Limited edition Mighty Car Mods case and the quad lock right there. We can just go, the vent's broken, Martin. But we can still at least show that. That goes like that.
Yeah, perfect.
But... maybe we'll put a suction mount on there.
Stereo's got to come out so we can install the auxiliary.
Yeah, I know. I'm in the process. I just got to get one more One more bolt out, Martin.
Look at
Then
this.
We're going to rip it out.
Look at this. Mixing desk installed.
Oh, that's cool.
It's got little screws in the back so you can put it on and we can run our wiring through there. How neat is it?
That's great. All right. It's a big, big thing. All right, now, Martin,
Yeah.
that cable that you've got,
Yeah.
we do have a couple of empty slots here. Does it fit
I'm
in
pretty
either
sure
of
it
those?
plugs into there, but I think there's also a jumper that we have to, not like one that you wear, like a jumper, like a little metal one, that we have to activate as well. But
Oh, so it's-
see if it plugs in. Cross your fingers, doesn't look right to me.
No, that doesn't look right.
There might be somewhere else that it goes. I'll have to have a look. Right, so I think there's a difference between like the US and EU and Australian versions.
Yeah.
That looks like it'll key correctly to here, but I don't think it's actually right. There's 6 pins on here. You bridge the first 2, that enables the auxiliary so it knows, and then the next 3 is what we use, and we can reuse the plugs off this.
Sorry, what are you saying?
Huh?
What are you talking
I
about?
don't know. You bought the wrong shit.
Okay. This plug that Marty bought
You bought
is
it,
the
man.
wrong plug.
Dude, you bought it.
He's just found a replacement for $16, which has eaten massively into our final little chunk,
No, because we can
which
sell.
we desperately needed.
We can sell our existing one.
Who's buying that, dude?
We'll put it on our shop and we'll sell that on our Mighty Car Mod shop.
No one's buying it.
Dude, someone could win that cable.
No one wants that cable,
And then
dude.
we could sell like a $16 sticker, and that would get our $16
We had
back.
like $40-something left, and you've just spent another 16 of it. So we're down to like $24. I needed that $40-something. You'll see why soon. Our budget has been chopped
so
hard.
cranky about his royalties. It's almost like musos have a problem with the fact they get totally dicked when it comes to royalties. Look at him. He's all like, oh, and it's probably fair enough because we need a cable. He bought the wrong cable. Now I have to buy the right cable, and he's wasted $16. Did you see what happened just there?
The world's getting filled with AI slop. I think more than ever we got to celebrate people, artists, call them what they will, musicians, painters, whatever. Celebrate the humans that are making stuff. And I don't think they're celebrated when some websites jack them. You know what I mean?
Well-
If someone's streaming millions of songs and they're getting paid like $100, I just don't think that works. It doesn't seem fair, Martin.
Well, it's not sustainable. Nothing in life is fair, but it's definitely not sustainable, is it?
Not when you keep buying the wrong shit.
Hanging out like I don't give a fuck. I get you filled up like a garbage truck. I see you on a Tuesday, maybe if you wanna stay, I'll be jumping on you like I'm crazy. Bring a beat like you know you're not alone. You got me fired up like a dog into a bone. I'm rolling like I'm owning and I'm gonna.
Method of working out which speaker's which on a loom where you don't know the wiring colours.
Yeah.
You stick the positive and negative, just a little battery, you know,
Yeah.
hold it on. And you know, we were talking about the coil before.
Yeah.
It excites the coil, but like DC, so just one direction and holds it there. So if you do this, like, you're making the speaker do that and you can hear and tell which one it is.
Yeah,
So that
nice.
sounds like the back right. I've got
Yep.
to work out. So that's back right. I want to find out which back left is, and then we intercept those wires for our sub.
Excellent. I've just run that wire to the back of where the head unit's going to be, and that's going down the back. It's going to be clean, dude.
Yep. Professional. We're so professional, man. It's crazy.
Do you reckon we might make more cash from one session of busking than a whole month of earnings?
I think it's likely. But also, imagine if we start like retrofitting cars with this stuff for musos. Because musos have heaps of money, clearly. So like we could retrofit cars with busking setups. That could be our thing. Like forget doing videos, we could just do that. You think there's enough Honda Jazzes?
Anyway, if you've got a Jazz, call 13Jazz7228. But in the meantime, here's how to get the audio signal into the subwoofer by piggybacking onto the rear speaker outputs. In full legit pro audio installs, your signals are low level and unamplified, typically run through RCA cables. But many amps do have the option of high level inputs, which means you can use your stock head unit. We're going to run these cables down to the back of the car along with our auxiliary input wire.
All right, I've taken the battery out, so we will run power directly down to the back.
I
It's got a
reckon-
fuse in it.
Cut a slit in the rubbery bit
Yep, I
and
did.
then jam it through that.
Yep, I already did.
Can you find a hole there somewhere?
Yeah, hold on. It's very dirty down here, though.
Oh, I'm holding the tubey bit and I can feel it pushing against my finger.
Can you?
Yeah,
Can you
can you feel
see
that?
my finger coming through?
I can't feel your finger, but can you feel that moving?
Tug
if-
it again.
If I tug that, hang
Yep.
on.
I can feel it moving around, yeah, while my finger's
Yeah,
inside
so it's
it.
a bit, I reckon just grease it up a bit and I reckon that'll slip straight through.
I'll just spit on it.
I reckon if you find pretty much any hole you can,
Yep.
and just go full muso style.
All right. I spat on the end of it, so just be aware when it's coming through.
No worries. So I can feel the whole shaft thing moving, but I can't feel your actual thing pushing through yet.
Can you feel it yet?
No, I can
Well, make sure it's not just getting curled up and stuck in the hole. Make sure the hole.
Oh, it might be. Hang on. No, pull back a little bit.
Yeah.
Pull back a little bit. Hang on. Can you
Yeah.
feel
Now
that?
tug me as hard as
Hang
you
on.
can.
I've got my finger on the end of it.
Yep. Pull it.
Wait. Ready?
Keep pulling.
3,
keep pulling.
2, 1.
Oh, that's it.
Did
Keep
you
pulling.
get it?
Yep.
Did
Keep
you get
going.
there?
Dude, there's so much more length that can fit
Oh,
in there.
dude,
Keep
I'm going to
going.
pull it. I'm going to keep pulling it.
Go, 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 go.
Pull. I'm going to pull it as hard as I can.
Yep.
Dude, that's awesome. That went straight through the hole.
Yep. Keep going. Keep going.
I reckon we could write a song about it.
Keep going. Go, 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 go.
I can only use one hand at a time. Hang on. I'm
That's
using
fine.
my right hand, which
Just
is
be
not my...
gentle now, because I'm near the end.
I'm using my
Yep.
my right hand, but I'm not as good with
Hold
the right.
on, I need to pull it back a little bit now. It's
Have
like
you
a
got it?
seesaw, you know what
Have
I
you
mean?
got your
Like
hand
I gotta
around
have
it?
my turn having to pull on this side.
Our fused power cable for our sub and accessories is successfully run down through the firewall. Now, back in the day, it was recommended that power and signal wires be run down separate sides of the car to reduce the chances of electromagnetic interference. These days, with modern shielded cables and components, it's less critical. But if you are aiming for the cleanest possible audiophile install and you're not working to a strict budget or time limit or janky like this, then try and keep them separate.
So this is a 3.5mm jack. You'll see them on headphones before everything went Bluetooth. This was kind of what everything used. That's a female socket for it. So I need to get the red to the tip, which is usually marked here in a bronze color, and then the ring, which is the white one, to here, which is like the left channel or left, right, and then the ground in the middle, or the earth, which is this one. So you've got a very, very small amount of space to solder in here. So we've got to get that wire into there, solder onto those tiny little tabs, make sure nothing touches anything else, because if it does, it either goes mono or doesn't work at all, or makes a horrific noise, and then put the sleeve over the end. Now, I like to use the ones with the plastic because you've got so much metal going on here. If you've got one of these with metal, they do give you like a little sort of sleeve that goes over it, but I've found I had more problems with them in the past than just using the plastic thing. So these are cheap, they're like $2. You can solder that on, and that means we can adapt from our stereo into our wiring, which is running down to our mixing desk, which is our main feed from the master to get into the amp, to get into the speakers.
All right, it's time to get this install finished so we can go and hit the street.
This car is going to be completely self-sufficient when it comes to power. Now, I know what you're wondering, especially you guitarists with your long hair and your Lydian scales. Pedals, these run on 9 volts, usually. Now, they also usually run on 9 volts with the center pin negative, which is a bit of a trap.
So cheeky.
Because back in the day, all the pedals, you would get like a normal 9-volt adapter like this.
Do you know where you'd buy it from?
Dick Smith.
Yeah, or Tandy.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
And you'd plug it in and your pedal would blow up and you'd wonder why, because you actually need to flip them and make the center negative. So
The reason they did it, I think is because Roland, that was making these back in the day, they wanted to sell their own wall warts.
Yeah.
And I believe back in the day they were expensive. Even back then they were maybe like $80 or something.
Correct.
And so they changed the pin of them so that you had to buy theirs. Now, many times you'd go to a gig, I don't know if you ever saw them,
Yeah.
you'd see one of these chopped off,
totally.
the end moved around and then taped up again, because otherwise you're running 9-volt batteries, and they were expensive as well. Little batteries like that, very expensive back in the day.
That's why they were 9-volt on adapters, because most people would also run 9-volt batteries which hide in there. So what you will see though on newer stuff particularly, it'll actually give you a little diagram where it has the center. You can see that's a diagram, and what they mean by that is what comes out of this adapter on this end, which I believe is called like a barrel connector or something. It looks like that. So on most appliances back in the day, the center was positive. In this case, it's negative. So how are we going to get around the fact that our car has a 12-volt system, should be a little bit higher than that, is one of these bad boys. Now, these are like $10 off the internet. They are cheap. And this is a voltage regulator that will drop from either 24 or 12 volts down to 9 volts. And what we're going to do is using the power that's coming from our sub, we're going to power our mixer with this cable. That happens to be 12 volts, so that doesn't need converting. For our pedals, we're going to tap in onto that and then run a separate bus of power for our 9 volt, which is going to run into one of these things, which is like a string of daisy chains. So you can run as many pedals as you want out the front of your busking mobile.
Hey, Martin. Did we include this in the original budget when I showed everything?
No, but you need to pull another $9.80 or $11.50, whatever that was out.
Okay.
I'm going to keep springing this on you, but don't worry, we'll make it back with your royalties.
This is how much money we have left now.
This doesn't count because the guitarist had this anyway, because the guitarist's a baller.
What?
Yes, like most guitarists, I also had a day job or three. One was selling phones, one was delivering pizza, and the other was wiring up recording studios. Not quite as janky as this, of course, but at gigs and on the road, you make do with what you've got.
Holy shit, dude.
That was good, eh? I used to be a pitcher. Long time ago.
Bullshit.
Still got it.
Did you really? Remember that day we played tennis and you kicked my ass?
Yeah, and then Iron Gab kicked my ass.
Yeah, because you're good with tennis and swimming, right?
Not a very good swimmer. I'm good at baseball, softball, tennis.
I thought you did competitive swimming.
Anything with bats and balls, I can do.
I thought you did competitive
Balls,
swimming.
no, balls by themselves.
Martin, why are you trying to change the subject about the swimming?
Oh, I'm not.
You did competitive swimming.
I had a swimming coach who was like an Olympian, but that doesn't mean I was any good.
Speaking of swimming in things, the Jazz is shaping up to be a geyser of musical excellence with its built-in PA system. We are soldering, heat shrinking and taping all our connections so the cables can be quickly and easily pulled out for a side-of-the-road jam. The last step is to earth the subwoofer wiring and connect our new positive feed to the battery.
You ready?
Moment of truth, please work. Yes!
Nice. Good job, mate.
Look at that, man. So cool. So if you plug a guitar in, we should see some levels.
Yeah, we should.
That's mad.
Oh, we can just plug a mic in.
Yeah, microphone's over there.
Let me hear you say dog, 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 dog.
Why are we saying dog?
I used to listen to Cannibal Corpse.
Did they talk about
You
dog?
dog.
Is that what they'd say?
No.
Figured they were more like cat people. Ow. Zapped me. So we've got 12 volts here, so now we can plug our sub in. So that's our main power line there. See, 12 volts. The mixing desk is getting that. Let's see if this is getting 9 volts, dude. This is exciting. Should we see if this has 9 volts?
Yeah.
And if we jam the red one in the little hole,
Yes.
it should be backwards if we've done this right. So we should see -9. Please, please, please. Yeah, dude, negative.
Yeah.
Put a pedal in. Let's see if a pedal lights up. You got a pedal there somewhere? This expensive, irreplaceable one. Yeah, look.
So far with all of our testing, we haven't actually heard anything. We've just been checking the level meters on the mixer and making sure there's power. But now we can finally plug it all in and hear the Jazz in all of its glory for the first time.
So this here is the cable that we need to turn our Honda Jazz into a rolling amplifier of automotive goodness. So that is basically going into the back here, like that. And then this end is going into this cable that we made. So that one goes into there. And now I'm putting reds on, Martin.
Yep. Oh, I heard some noises.
All right, that should be enough power to turn this on. And then,
Microphone is in.
hold on a second. And then auxiliary is on.
Yep.
Volume is up.
Oh, yeah.
Yes!
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, dude, that's working.
You.
Dude, we are using this old hunk of junk.
Look, you've got an actual level meter on the actual thing.
Oh, that's cool.
So cool. Which is like your epic meter of how good your performing is.
Dude, we are going to make so much cash
I know, dude.
busking.
I know.
Absolutely ridiculous. All right, give me the end of
the
that.
White, the white one's the one with the end of the guitar. That one.
All right, are you ready?
Yep.
Volume's down.
Yep.
Guitar is plugged in.
Yeah, dude. That's so good. We've got pedals as well. We've got a tuner. You can tune our thing. What else we got here? Mad, and we've even got a looper, dude.
Oh, can I add some drums?
That's so cool.
We just have to work out
Have you
now
got your mad synthy
a
thing?
little busking set.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Correct.
Oh, I have to have a go.
No, have a go, dude.
have to
You got,
have a go
especially with
first.
the old like 80s style metal. Is this your pedal since forever?
Yeah. Can I borrow your pick?
So cool. There you go. Yeah! Heck yeah, that's so good. That's so good.
That's great.
Look at this. And so we've got mono 6.5mm in for guitars. We've got XLR in for microphones. And stereo 3.5 out for this kind of thing. How cool.
I'm so excited.
Does this work too?
Yes. Can I swap you that
Yep.
for that?
Go.
All right, so
That should be...
I plug that one in, output. I'll turn my volume down.
Yep.
All right, so I'll just kick drum. All right, Martin, let me just make us a quick drum kit.
Yeah. Finger drums.
All right, let's give
That's
it a go.
so cool.
Hit it.
Are we going to loop something?
Yeah, yeah.
All right. Here we go, loop. Nice. I'm basically Ed Sheeran now. That's mad.
Dude, we have turned a Honda Jazz into a busking machine.
And all the stuff can fit in the back of it. You can go anywhere. You're powered up from your battery of your car. You don't need anything. All this is powered from the car, man. All of it.
It is absolutely amazing.
It's so cool.
It's so good. So you know what we need to do? We need to put all of the car back together.
Yep.
And then we need to actually go and do a little bit of busking. But before we do that, if you've got a musical artist out there that you want to support, I want to quickly run through the maths of how you can best support your independent artist, because the results and how much money they actually get, you may find very surprising. One of the most common questions I get asked as an independent musician from people that listen to my music is, what is the best way of supporting the independent artist that we follow? So I decided I would quickly run down and give you a bit of an outline of what you can earn from all of the different streaming platforms. So if we start with probably one of the most popular ones, that is Spotify. It's got a massive audience, but does pay fairly low. We're talking about 0.003 cents per stream. Now, if we swap over to something like Apple Music, as you can see, they pay a bit extra, almost double. So you've got 0.005 to 0.006 cents. It can change per country. It's less of a music audience, but is definitely a way of earning more money. Now, what about actually downloading music to keep? Well, you've got a couple of options. If you have a look at iTunes, songs on there might be 99 cents, and then Apple takes around 30% of that, so you'd end up with 70 cents. Or if you want to try and download something directly from a website of an artist that you follow, it might be $1.69 or something like that, and the artist actually gets to keep all of it. But these days, there has been a massive resurgence into people actually buying physical music that you can hold. So we're talking CDs, we're talking vinyl, and we're talking cassettes. This is my new album, Key to the City 2, that's available right now on cassette. We'll ship it to you anywhere in the world, but let's have a look at what the maths are on this. So if you get something like that and it costs around $30, and let's say there's 10 songs on there, you're talking $3 per song. So that is definitely the best way of supporting the artist. So let's just do a quick comparison now. So you would need 10,000 streams on Spotify for your artist to make the same amount of money as they could make by selling one cassette or CD or vinyl for $30. So that is definitely the best way of supporting them. The other thing, of course, you can do is you can get some merchandise, you can go to one of their live shows, or just spread the word and tell everybody about their music, and that definitely helps them as well. So hopefully that gives you a little bit of a rundown. Certainly that was the genesis of why we made this video in the first place. But for now, let's go busking and see if we can make some of our money back.
And 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4, cool. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. Here we go.
Honda Jazz in a hatch. They're looking at me, not looking at your mum. It looks so good and it goes so fast. Even though it drops out of fifth gear all the time, we still like that car. For busking, it'll take you so far. We're gonna make some money, gonna make some tunes, gonna pump up that streaming revenue. Huh!
Dude, this sucks. There's no one here, man.
That's because you need a permit for all the good spots. And the permits cost money, and if we buy a permit with our streaming money, then we have no money left.
We have to go somewhere where there's people.
Like where?
Like space.
We're under attack.
From the GTR.
$250,000 of Datsun junk.
Yeah. Watch out, it's a Civic. Oh,
Make it stop! Nice shot, man.
Thanks, man.
It's sex spec.
Ooh. Dude, there's a BRZ and it's catching us.
As if. What? It's not catching anyone.
What do you mean?
This is so slow.
Watch out, there's a Cressida drifting in at 9 o'clock. But dude, we can't waste a 2J.
Actually, they have a 7M
Shut the
GTE
up.
twin.
See you, neckbeards. It's a BMW.
Get a lock.
I'm trying, I can't. It's got no indicators. Oh no, it's the Subarus.
Wait. Wait.
But I've got a lock.
Just wait.
What the hell? I didn't even shoot him.
Exactly. They'll explode by themselves.
A Nissan Silvia. Do not breathe in the hallucinogenic Nissan smoke. You can't destroy that car. The S13 is a classic piece of JDM cultural automotive. What the hell, man?
Be gone, you foul-sounding piece of crap.
What the hell?
It's a Golf with a resonator delete.
And a crackle pop tune.
Kill it!
Kill it!
Kill it! Die!
You're an embarrassment to all of us, you flog.
Oh no. Mustangs!
Don't worry, they'll crash themselves.
Oh, Ford Ranger trying to cut us off. This will be an angry one.
Ah! He brake checked us, what a dog!
A Camry.
And it's turbocharged.
No, leave it.
Is that an asteroid belt?
Made of massively oversized chunks of heavy turd.
No, they're BMW Minis.
That's what I said.
finally made it. We're surrounded by electric SUVs. What are we going to do? There's too many of them.
There's only one thing we can do.
We promised we'd never do jazz.
Would you rather play 3 chords to 10,000 people or 10,000 chords to 3 people? It's jazz or die. 1, 2, 3, 4. Skip bop boop bop biddle bay. 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 Is that it? I think we got them all. I mean, there's still a couple on fire over there, but that's normal.
Is that the mothership?
Man, we can't take much more of this. The shields aren't holding.
What's it doing?
Big Tarago whale dog. The power's coming from the middle.
It's mid-engine. We need more scat.
Take the balls.